All right, today we are working on lesson 5, dividing multi-digit numbers. This is my third attempt at making this video. I'm very tired today and apparently my brain is not working. All right, so let's start with our vocabulary. Start out. When one number is divided by another number, the result is a quotient. So your answer in this box would be a quotient. The number that is divided is a dividend, and what we're dividing by is your divisor. So make sure you fill in those blanks. Quotient, dividend, and divisor. All right. Let's look at our real world link. When we look at blood circulation, it takes 60 seconds for a single blood cell to travel around your body and back to your heart. 60 seconds is how many minutes? Right, 1. So every minute your blood cell travels completely around your body. That's pretty amazing considering how many blood vessels we have. Alright, the question is, in 120 seconds, about how many times does a single blood cell travel around your body and back to your heart? Write the dividend, divisor, and quotient in the diagram below. Alright, 120 seconds, that is what we are dividing by. So that is our dividend, which yours shows up, mine doesn't because it's a copy and it's really light. We are dividing by what? How many seconds does it take for it to travel once? Good, 60. So now we have to figure out how many times 60 goes into 120. Well, how many times does 6 go into 12? 2. So how many times would 60 go into 120? 2. And if we multiply that, you would get 6 times 2 is 12, 120. So it takes 2 times, and will travel around in 120 seconds. So 120 seconds for 2 times travel completely around your body. So now Camelia's target rate should be about 200 beats per minute. They want us to estimate the times Camelia's heart will beat in 1 second if her heart is working at this rate. Well, let's do this. Let's count by 60s. We had 60, that's 1 minute. 120 would be 2 minutes. What would be next if we counted by 60s? Think about 6, 12, what would be next? Right, 18, so 180. And then what would be after that? 18 plus 6. 240, right? They want us just to estimate. So if we estimate which one is closest to 200, I would say 182. 180. So about how many times would Camelia's heart beat in 1 second if her heart was working at this rate? So our answer would be about 180. Let's look at our mathematical practices. What are we using today? Well, we are definitely persevering with problems. I think for this one we kind of have to reason abstractly because we have to think about science and math combined together and how they work together. So I would say we reason abstractly. Construct an argument, we could. We didn't really argue this one. We did model with mathematics. We labeled things and drew things out. We used our mathematical tools for sure, those quotients and divisors. We have to attend to precision. If it's not precise, that answer is going to be way off. And I would say we made use of structure, the structure of division. There's always some structure to that. And use repeated reasoning. I don't think so much for this one. All right, we are going to go on to page 216. Page 216. They're going to give us an example here, and they have done this example for us. We have already worked on division sum, so this should serve as review for you guys. When they give you a division problem, and they write it out like this, you're going to want to write it like this, always. Okay? It is almost impossible to divide the way it's written out like this. Unless you are super, super great at mental math, I'm not even that good. I would have to write it the other way. All right, so they show us that 351 divided by 9 And they said that 9 went into 35 3 times. Think about this again as groups of things. If you have 3, can you give 9 friends anything? No. 35, you can give each one of them 3. So 3 times 9 friends is 27. They subtract, they got 8. They brought down the 1. They don't use the arrows, I like to. How many things can you give 9 friends if you have 81 items? They said 9. 9 times 9 friends is 81, and you have a remainder of 0. The second example they give us talks about a remainder. Okay, we did these as well. It's just bigger numbers this time. So 878 items, whether it's money, shoes, candy, whatever you have, 31 friends you want to share it with, so you're giving it to a whole class. Sometimes you're going to have to guess and check this, or estimate. If I have 31, I would probably think in my mind, how many times would 30 go into 87? Well, 30, 60, 90, and this is over 30, so I'm going to say 2. 2 times 31 is 62. They subtract, they had 25. As long as this number is less than your divisor, you are okay. Alright, so as long as that's smaller than the divisor, you're alright. Bring down the 8. Now 31 into 258. Again, this might be a guess and check situation. They said 8. 8 times 31, which you may need to do over here. That's alright. 248. They subtract, they got 10. That is your remainder is 10. If your remainder is lower than this number, you're okay. And it is. It's 10. Our divisor is 31. It's lower than that, so that will be your remainder. I know it seems like a little bit of a high remainder, what we're used to, but it is correct. Alright, I want you to try these got it problems on your own. I am going to write these out this time, just so that you have the extra visual. So I want you to pause, and then when you're ready, you can take one at a time. So do problem A, pause it when everyone's got problem A. Get ready to watch me do it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, I have 768 items. If I have 7, can I give 8 of my friends something? No. 76, can I give 8 of my friends something? Use that multiplication chart, follow that 8 all the way over and get as close as you can without going over. And I'm going to say 9. I'm going to say 72. Because 9 times 8 friends is 72. I'm giving that away, so I'm getting rid of it. 6 minus 2 is 4. Bring down my 8. How many times can 8 go into 48? Again, follow that number line over. 6 times. 6 times 8 friends is 46. I have a remainder of 2. Alright, go ahead and pause before we move on. You know what? I just caught a mistake. That is not a remainder. See, I told you guys I'm tired today. 6 times 8 is 48. Silly Billy. Silly Billy. You'd have a remainder of 0. My bad, I'm sorry. Alright, let's try letter B. 16 into 318. The only reason I'm writing this again is because I can't write that small. Alright, 16 into 31. Well, I know 16 and 16 is 32. So this is only going to be able to go in once because I only have 31. Then you're going to have to subtract and you're going to have to borrow. 11 minus 6 is 5. 2 minus 1 is 1. Bring down your 8. Now, I'm going to think what times 6 would get me close to 58. Well, 9 would give me 54. Let's see. And 9 plus 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's see if that works. Yep, I have a remainder of 14. So letter B should have been 19 with a remainder of 14. Now, if you guessed wrong and this number was too high, just go back and raise that up a number. You might have to raise it 2 numbers. But sometimes you're going to have to guess and check with these bigger numbers, okay? So don't be afraid to do that. Just make sure that when you subtract, or when you subtract and you bring down, make sure that that number, these numbers are smaller than what you have over here. If they are, then you're correct. If not, you got to raise this top number up a number. All right? We are going to be turning to page 217. This one's going to be a little harder. We're going to go through some examples of 4-digit dividends in part 2 of our lesson. Stay tuned.